Hi. So we are going to be practicing division strategies. We already practiced long division. I'll repeat the long division strategy one time, but then I'm going to show you a new way that you could also do division without a calculator if you need to find a remainder. So let's say that I had $453 that I earned at a job. But what I am going to do now is I am going to split this money up so that I can spend it over 3 weeks. Okay, I have $453 and I'm splitting it up over 3 weeks. So my problem is 453 divided by 3, and my steps are to divide, multiply, subtract, bring down my next number. And then this arrow means that I start everything over again. So I go digit by digit, which means first I would do 4 divided by 3. 4 divided by 3. I'm going to write out my math over here on the side. This is just my scratch work. So 4 divided by 3. I could draw 4 dots, and then I could split them up into groups of 3. And I see that I have one group. So that means that my answer is 1. 4 divided by 3 is 1. And I have some left over, which I'm going to show in my problem here. 4 divided by 3 is 1. I can fit 3 inside of 4 one time. I divided. Next, I multiply. 3 times 1, that's 3. Next, I subtract. 4 minus 3, that's 1. See, this 1 shows my remainder from my drawing. After I subtract, I bring down my next digit, which is a 5. So next, I start my steps all over again. I start with divide, and this time I will divide 15 divided by 3. So next I divide 15 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3. Instead of drawing a picture, I could also skip count. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I was able to skip count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, which means that 15 divided by 3 equals 5. I write my division at the top of my division house. I have finished dividing, so next I multiply. 5 divided by 3 equals 15. Next I subtract. 15 minus 15, that's 0. And finally I bring down my next digit, my 3. And so I start my steps over again, and this time I do 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3. If I have 3 dots and I split them up to put 3 dots in each group, my answer would be 1. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. I can write my division answer at the top of my division house. I finished dividing, so next I multiply. 1 times 3, which is 3. Next, I subtract. 3 minus 3, that's 0. Next, I bring down, but I don't have any digits to bring down. So that 0, that's my final remainder. There is no remainder here. So that means that my answer for 453 divided by 3 equals 151. This is called long division because my problem gets pretty long. But now I'm going to show you a different strategy you can use for division. Instead of long division, I'm going to show you fat division. This is also called the box method. Fat division or the box method. I'm going to use the same problem. I had $453 and I split it up over 3 weeks. So I'm still going to do $453 divided by 3 weeks. But this time, my problem is going to look different whenever I write it out. I still have my division house. and I still have my divisor and my dividend. I'm still using the same steps: divide, multiply, subtract, and then I'm kind of doing bring it down, but it's actually not going to be brought down. You'll see what I mean. And then I do my steps over again. I'll be writing my work in red this time. I still go digit by digit. So first I would do 4 divided by 3. 4 divided by 3. So just like last time, I know that if I skip count, 6 doesn't count, I can skip count 1 time. 4 divided by 3 equals 1. I can write a 1 at the top of my answer, at the top of my house for my quotient so far. Next, I multiply. 1 times 3, that's 3. Next, I subtract. 4 minus 3, that's 1. Now here is where my work starts to look different. Instead of bringing down my next digit, I'm actually going to bring up my next digit. So I'm going to bring my 1 in front of my 5 to show that my next number I will divide is 15 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3. What's my answer? I can skip count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I stop when I hit 15. I was able to skip count 5 times. So my answer is 5. My answer is 5. Then I multiply again. 5 times 3, that's 15. Next I subtract. 15 minus 15, that's 0. And then I bring over my digit, which is a 0. Then I start my steps over again. I divide. 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3. If I have 3 dots and I split them up into groups of 3, my answer will be 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then I multiply. 1 times 3, that's 3. Then I subtract. 3 minus 3, that's 0. Once again, I don't have any remainder at the end of my number. My final answer, my quotient, is 151. So, what do you think? Which of these was easier? Do you prefer long division? Or does fat division make a little bit more sense to you? We're going to do one more fat division problem. And then afterwards, you'll let me know how you feel about this style. This time, I have 200. No, this time I have 678 awards that are going out to students. Each student gets 2 awards. Since I have my total, I'm splitting it up, I'm dividing. So my problem is going to be 678 divided by 2. But this time I'm going to do fat division. So I'm going to spread out my numbers. 6, 7, 8. 678. It still goes inside of my division house. And I put my divisor out on the side. 678 divided by 2. What are my steps for multiplying? What are my steps for dividing? First, I divide, then I multiply, then I subtract, and then I bring down or I bring over my next digit. And then I start over again. So, I start By doing what small problem? I start with 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2. I can draw 6 dots and split them up into groups of 2, or I can skip count. 6 divided by 2. What's my answer? 2, 4, 6. I stop because I hit 6. I was able to skip count 3 times. So my answer is 3. After I divide, I multiply. What do I multiply? I multiply 2 times 3. 2 times 3, that's 6. Next, I subtract. I subtract 6 minus 6, which is 0. After I subtract, I bring down my digit, or in this case, I bring over my digit. So next, I will divide 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2 is, I can draw 7 dots, or I can skip count by 2s. 7 divided by 2 is 8 doesn't count because it goes over. So I was able to skip count 3 times. 7 divided by 2 is 3. 7 divided by 2 is 3. So next I multiply. What do I multiply? I multiply 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. And then I bring over that digit. Next, I divide. What do I divide? I divide 18 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2. I can draw 18 dots and split them up into groups of 2, or I can skip count by 2, or I might know mental math. What's my answer? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I was able to skip count 9 times. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Next, I multiply. 9 times 2 is 18. Where do I write 18? I write it under my other 18. 9 times 2 is 18, and then I subtract. 18 minus 18, that's 0. So my final answer for 678 divided by 2 is 339. So what do you think of this method of fat division? Do you prefer it over long division? Do you think long division is better? How do you feel in general about division so far? Let me know in your answers.